What's happening, YouTube? This is your girl Megan. Welcome back to the HoodAstroQ to all of my returning subscribers. However, if this is your first time joining me on today, well, hello, welcome. Okay, it's here that we use celestial bodies to help us learn more about our favorite celebrities, trending events, world events, but most importantly, our damn selves. All right. And today I am coming to you guys with yet another celebrity birth chart reading. This is actually a revisited one. Okay. So this will be a revisited series, but a celebrity birth chart reading nonetheless on Asian Doll, aka Asian Dubrat. Now, I believe her birthday was yesterday. So shouts out to Asian Doll. Happy belated birthday. I really love this girl. I just do. I do. She's like my best friend in my head. And everybody has that one celebrity or maybe two. I don't know. Quiet as it's kept. You know, y'all got, folks got a lot of celebrities that they defend like they getting paid for it. But if I'm going to be honest, my two celebrities that I will be defending like they put money in my pocket are Azalea Banks and Asian Doll. I'm going to suit it and boot it and hit the streets every time. We're going to post up, okay? No Asian Doll slander will be tolerated, but I am required to tell the truth. I got to tell the truth, y'all. So basically, yeah, I've done a reading on her before in the past, but I wanted to get a little bit more in depth, especially as it pertains to some of what is going on with her right now. So Asian Doll, aside from her birthday, coming up, she's been in the news a lot lately, especially also because of her relationship with King Von. Now, King Von, the follow rapper from Chicago, she dated him for some time, maybe 2 or 3 years. And following his death, she has been online a lot, okay, posting to social media a lot, and has subsequently received a lot of blowback, a lot of criticism. A lot of people are saying that she's a clout chaser. A lot of people feel like the way in which she has gone on to mourn Von's death was excessive, especially considering the fact that they were not together during the time of his death. And a lot of people are also claiming that she is kind of taking on Von's style, which, I mean, I'm not even going to say that it's a claim. So basically, Asian Doll released a song called None of That. I actually like it. Go check it out if you care to. But she released a song, and in her latest song, I guess you could say it was a visual, or she did like an Instagram video for it. And in the video, you could see that noticeably she had taken on a lot of King Von's mannerisms. And she'll say little things like on phone them. And everybody knows them Chicago boys love saying on phone them. They go on phone them you to death. So little things, little ad-libs and little things that he would say in his music, like boom, like, little stuff. Like, people are like, oh, wow, she's rapping like King Von, or, she's moving in her mannerisms and things are like King Von, which actually adds to the reason why a lot of people feel that she may be doing this for clout or whatever the case may be. So I would like to provide a little bit more context surrounding that, in addition to just her style, altogether. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So, Asian Doll was born December 7th, 1996 in Dallas, Texas. She is a Sag, and y'all know I love my Sages now. I love the Sag girl, so that's another reason why I have a soft spot for her. But with her being a 7 birth number, this deals with her being, a musician or a rapper, okay? And a lot of people with 7 energy can be very, very creative. But these are also people who could have a very strong affinity for makeup, hair makeup, dress up, specifically when we're talking about women. These are also women who could have a lot of princess energy, which she does. She has a lot of masculine energy. Sagittarius is a masculine sign, but it's also a lot of princess energy, a lot of glam, fab energy going on with that 7 birth number there. And you could say whatever you want to say about her, but visually, especially in, the most recent years, Asian Doll is always going to serve you a look. Okay, whether it be the different color hair. I believe she even had like an eyelash line. She has a clothing line that's also very 7. of her as well. Okay, these people could really enjoy creating fantasies with their images, right? So, and makeup and dress and things are absolutely a part of that. But that number 7 could also bring about a lot of scandal as well. Now, her sun is at the 15th degree of Sagittarius, and it's important to understand with this Sagittarian energy, Sagittarius is the sign of the sycophant. And I may be mispronouncing this, but the sycophant is basically a person who can easily copy or mimic another person's style. These are people, a lot of Sagittarius, especially when we're talking about Sag, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, and even Venus, Sagittarius Venuses, I notice, could view something that they like in someone, especially if it's an accent, a way of speaking, or just a way of being, right? Really like it and take it and adopt it as their own, which obviously some people could take issue with because it can kind of come off as like either being a copycat or, you know, ripping off someone else's style or whatever the case may be. But specifically, I think this is what's going on when it comes to Asian Doll and the influence that King Von has had over her, right? Although she has been rapping for quite some time, she's actually been rapping before King Von and prior to their relationship. So I will give her that. And she's always, you know, been the shit. Her flow has always been impeccable. She's always been very talented. But the truth of the matter is, as a Sagittarius sun, she is the type of person to likely see something, especially when we're talking about the men that she dates, the men in her life, and become easily influenced by these men to the point where she's willing to take on their persona as her own. Not to mention her Scorpio moon is conjunct her Chiron at the 27th degree of Libra, which could also create a person who is very heavily and strongly influenced by their partners. She actually reminds me, these placements could point towards her being the type of girl who is around, let's say she's dating a guy, and all of his habits and all of his tendencies, including his lingo, the type of music he listens to, the things that he does, she slowly picks them up and adopts them as her own over time. Now, it's also worth mentioning that Scorpio moon conjunct her Chiron also even points towards her just naturally being the type of person to be very obsessive and have like a very obsessive demeanor when it comes to her partners and the people she dates. So, and it actually kind of seems that way as well in retrospect, that she does have this obsession, this out and out obsession with King Von. I believe she even got his name tattooed on her, which is actually another testament of that moon, that Scorpio moon conjunct Chiron in Libra, as that Scorpio energy can absolutely deal with tattoos, and you could look at that conjunction as her getting a tattoo of her partner. But also, this could lead towards her choosing bad boys and leaning towards criminals and people who are of bad influence. In fact, with that moon conjunct Chiron, it really says it all in terms of a lot of the issue with Asian Doll. I mean, it could point towards a person who was raised in dysfunction, who could have come from a criminal family, which is very interesting because I remember hearing briefly in like an interview that her mother, they call her Mother Killer K, okay, from Dallas. So her mother was clearly connected, I think she said, with gangs or something like that. So, but I believe it. With this moon conjunct Chiron, she could have been around some very shady people growing up. She could have been around a lot of crime growing up, as well as, you know, having the tendency to surround herself around men and date men who are well immersed in that criminality as well. And of course, her relationship with Vine is another reflection of that, because King Vine was a well-known killer, from Chicago. So, and in fact, you could also look at that conjunction as her approach to these relationships being kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde, where she could have been very obsessive about, attracting people where she could do dirt with. Her having like I'm a ride for you, you ride for me, Bonnie and Clyde mentality towards her relationships, like, gangsta love story type of shit. And that's kind of a lot of the vibe that I was getting from her and King Von as well. Not to mention, she also has her Venus at the 17th degree of Scorpio. That could also create a person who is just naturally drawn towards crime. Like, just, and even with that moon in conjunct to Chiron, I mean, for those of you guys who tuned into my Chirac, the astrology behind Chirac series that I did, I tend to find that a lot of these gangsters and a lot of these people who are in these areas, especially Chicago and people affiliated with that Chicago energy, have Chiron and negative aspects to the sun or moon, which can create a deviant. These are people who are just deviant. They can't act right. These are people who feel like they are always the exception to the rules. Even when it comes to Asian Doll and that moon conjunct Chiron in Libra, where she may even have a very lengthy track record of breaking the law. I would be surprised if she hasn't gotten in any type of legal trouble before or found herself behind bars, especially as an Libra North Node as well. So, you always got that. Then on top of that, she's an Aries South Node with her South Node conjunct her Saturn, right? And both are forming a quincunx to her moon, that Scorpio moon. And it further exacerbates a lot of this like gangster mentality. And it also gives her an extremely masculine flair and a strong affinity for masculinity. And you could tell a lot, like you could see a lot of that masculinity in the way that she presents herself. Once again, even her mannerisms, even prior to King Von or throughout the duration of their relationship, she presents as a very masculine woman. And once again, Sagittarius women, a lot of them can be very masculine because Sagittarius is a masculine sign. But when you take into account that Aries South Node as well, and even that Scorpio energy. Scorpio is a feminine sign, by definition, standardly, but because it's co-ruled by Mars, a lot of these women, depending on the other factors in the chart, could also be a lot more dominant and resonate more with that masculine energy. Also, with that Aries South Node, this can make her extremely violent. Okay, it could also make her definitely, it's very congruent with her being raised around that life, that street life, reinforcing that quincunx to her Scorpio moon, where maybe she grew up around a lot of guns and a lot of violence and somebody who was always quick to fight and quick to put in work. And, so she's definitely somebody where one of those artists where I absolutely believe everything she says. But also, okay, just being honest, that Aries South Node could definitely make her very self-serving. And as we move towards the, speculation surrounding the way in which she mourned King Von, that Aries South Node individual, right, that's Aries South Node energy, especially in conjunction to Saturn, can create a person who has a hard time doing things unless they're going to benefit from them personally. Okay? And taking it back to her moon, that Scorpio moon conjunct Chiron, this actually could even create a person who could have ulterior motives in their relationships. Which, do what you will with that, y'all. And this is also supported by the fact that her Venus, once again, at that 17th degree of Scorpio, is also forming a sextile to her Jupiter in Capricorn. So we're talking about a social climber here. Asian Doll is absolutely a social climber where she could gain a lot of, once again, notoriety, fame, and maybe even establish a lot of professional connections by way of her relationships, whether it be friendships, whether it be, her actual partnerships. She also has her Scorpio moon squaring Uranus, okay, at the 2nd degree, which just reinforces this theme of her being wild, just wild, reckless. And it definitely explains a lot of her tendency to vent on social media. Now, Sagittarius, just as a sign, you know, these are people who could just naturally be the type of people to overshare, right? But having that Scorpio moon squaring your Uranus in Aquarius, these are people who could also be very open in the sense that they're quick to use social media for a lot of things where it could play a very strong role in her life, but be very clear, every little thing that she posts there could be intent behind it. And then she also has her Neptune at the 25th degree of Capricorn squaring that Chiron at the 27th degree of Libra, which can deal with the person mooching or like almost even kind of leeching off of a relationship. So while I was initially on the fence about it in terms of her intent, I'm going to be very honest after like just reviewing her chart again. I'm more inclined to believe she is clout chasing. She's clout chasing, y'all. And then she got her Mercury at the 3rd degree of Capricorn squaring that Aries South Node and Libra North Node, which could create an opportunist as well, a person who is very focused on, you know, not just their bag, but like their career, their mission. You know, they're gonna put that above all else. You know, she's actually a person I wouldn't want to be friends with personally, but she once again is my friend in my head. But I just got to be honest. So her chart could definitely point towards her being clout chasing. So yeah, that concludes this reading. Hop down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the situation. What do y'all think Asian Doll's intent are, and how do you feel about her chart? So make sure you practice unconditional self-love so that you can love others. And yeah, until the next video, I holla.